The reading this evening is taken from the book of Ephesians Chapter 4, verses 17 through 24. This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that you should no longer walk as the rest of the Gentiles walk, in the futility of their mind, having their understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling have given themselves over to lewdness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. But you have not so learned Christ. If indeed you have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus, that you put off, concerning your former conduct, the old man which grows corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man which was created according to God in true righteousness and holiness.
We're going to see how this earpiece works. I don't know. We'll see. It flies off my head at any point during the sermon. We'll just go with it. But last year, VBS was the mystery of the purple parchment. And it followed a detective, and a very brilliant-minded detective that was searching to solve this mystery of the purple parchment. And I remember as we were getting ready to do the crime lab, the one thing we looked at was fingerprints, or one of the things we looked at was fingerprints, and we were all kind of fascinated that your fingerprint either has a circle or like a different kind of squiggle and all this thing, and so we all kind of spent a little bit the day in the office just kind of staring at our thumbs and our fingerprints, and I was fascinated by the fact that although they have these similarities, every fingerprint is different. It's what makes us all unique. We never have the same fingerprint. Going off of that, our DNA is always different. We share a common DNA, obviously, with our siblings, and it's very similar, but specifically your DNA is unlike anybody else's. And so that to me is fascinating. That there could be that many combinations of fingerprints, of DNA, that God is so wise and such a powerful creator that he can make that unique for each and every one of us. And so as I was kind of studying for tonight, the thing I wanted to cover, I came across this story, and it talks about a young man who was in need of a bone marrow transplant. And so he went to the doctor and got this surgery, and he received this bone marrow transplant, and it was a success. And so he went back, and they checked on everything, and it looked great. Everything was as it should be. But what was interesting is that he now had a different DNA than when he started. And not just in the bone marrow, but actually his DNA was different, and it matched up with the donor's DNA. And so I read that, and it was with this idea and looking at these illustrations for preachers, and I thought, that's not true. And I thought, I'm going to say that, and Dr. Tom is going to come up to me afterwards and be like, that's not true. You just told a lie up there. So I had to look into it. And it is possible when a bone marrow transplant takes place that you can get the DNAs mixed up, that you can get a new and different DNA, that you can get the one of the person who has made this donation. And I was like, that's just too perfect of an illustration. Because in Ephesians, as Jeff read for us, verse 22 of chapter 4, that you put off concerning your former conduct the old man which grows corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And that you put on the new man, which was created according to God, in true righteousness and holiness. So we get a new spiritual DNA. When we become a Christian, we receive new spiritual DNA. That's amazing. That's amazing that no longer are we this old creature that's stuck, or this old creation that's stuck in sin, but we are a new creation. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 puts it like this, and I love this example. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. What an amazing thing that God does. God not only creates us to be an individual and makes each one of us unique, but then he does it again. When we are stained and scarred with sin, God makes us a new creation. He washes away all of this junk that we've accumulated, all this junk that we will accumulate. And he makes us a new creation. We are washed in the blood. We are clothed in Christ. And spiritually, we're given Jesus' DNA so that we can have salvation through him. It's just such an awesome thought. And it's such an amazing thing. And so I sat there and I tried to study up on DNA, and I can't even pronounce what it actually means or what it actually represents. And I tried to study as much as I could, and I can't understand the mysteries of God, and I can't understand how God makes us a new creation, but I'm happy that he does. I'm happy that we get an opportunity to join in that covenant with Christ, to put off that old creation, that old person, to be washed in the waters of baptism and begin anew. Tonight, as we sing the invitation song, you have the opportunity to do the exact same thing, to come join in that covenant, to partake in this blessing of baptism. You can come home if you have fallen away. If you just need the prayers of the church, we offer an invitation now as we stand and sing.
I walk